Let's talk marriage and family life. Well, greetings from the office of Pastor Kevin Martin, and welcome once again to Let's Talk Marriage and Family Life. This is my last time for this week to go on live stream. I hope that I've been a blessing to you, and I will be back on next week. Well, I've got some good news. I ordered a buzzer. So when I tell these humorous marriage jokes, I can push the buzzer button. So it'll make it a little more interesting or enjoyable, at least on my behalf. Every man wants a wife who is beautiful, understanding, economical, and a good cook. But here's the problem. The law only allows one wife. In the previous sessions this week, I've been talking about understanding your spouse and meeting the needs of your spouse. Understanding them, understanding their needs, and helping them meet their needs. It is a requirement for a happy marriage. It is very important to know what recharges your spouse, because when they are regenerated, when they are recharged, they are easier to talk to. It's easier to work with them, get them to resolve issues. It helps them to be able to cope with stress and these things that we face on a daily basis. So it's important that we understand our spouse and we help them get re-energized or recharged. And today I want to talk to you about the gentle servant, the supine temperament on the social side. Socially, if your spouse is the gentle servant, the supine temperament, they tend to be a servant. That seems to be their place of enjoyment and comfort. They love to serve people. Serving people helps them. It helps them to feel valuable. It helps them to function, helps them to feel at peace. They're tender-hearted, they have a very gentle spirit, and they love to please people. So if you are their spouse, help them maintain balance in this area, because what happens is they will tend to take on more than they can handle. They can end up feeling used, and which these feelings can lead to resentment. Saying no is extremely hard for them. So if your spouse is this gentle servant, remember, saying no is very hard for them. Because of this, people will take advantage of them. Make sure they don't take on more than they can handle, and then they become resentful. They are task-oriented and people-oriented. On the last two sessions, first one, I spoke about that person that is people-oriented. And then yesterday, task-oriented. But the gentle servant, the supine temperament, they are both task and people-oriented. They like to alternate between doing tasks and being with people. This energizes and refreshes them, alternating, doing something, doing tasks, but also being with people. Both of them regenerates them. Now here's a key thing to understand. They are extrovert, but they appear to be an introvert. They are extrovert, but they appear to be an introvert. Because of this, they can be misread. People may think they're the melancholy. The melancholy temperament loves to be alone. They're a loner. They like quiet time alone. But the supine temperament, they are extrovert. They love to socialize. They love to be with people. They're an extrovert that appears to be an introvert. They love to socialize with people, but they can be misread. And this appears when somebody would read them, they would appear to be cold and withdrawn, when in reality, they are not. In reality, they want to be with people, and they want to socialize. They need other people to initiate first. So if you are married to the supine temperament, you will find that they need you to initiate. They need you to initiate first. They want people to give personal invitations so they know that they're wanted and that they're needed. Here's the thing. We get what we say we want. Very important phrase, what I'm saying. We get what we say we want. We are like a sign, and people read that sign. And our words and our language, our body language, it speaks. It sends out a message. And since the supine temperament doesn't send out the message by their words and by their body language that they want to socialize, go places, be with people, they can be misread as not wanting to socialize. So if this is your spouse, help them. Help them to speak up. Help them to initiate conversation. They will have a tendency to be shy and withdrawn. So you as a spouse can help them. They have a tendency to expect people to read their mind and not verbalize their need. Remember, we get what we say we want. We get what we say we want. So it's important. Be direct and get your needs met. If this is your spouse, help them. Speak up. Be direct. Make sure that they are direct and they understand the importance of that. Be direct and get your needs met. The supine temperaments have a tendency to not be direct, to not clearly communicate whatever that need might be. And again, remember, no one can read our minds. Nobody. No one can read our mind. And so if we don't express clearly whatever the need might be, whether it be where we want to eat, whatever it might be, if there's something you want, if we don't express it clearly, people cannot read our minds. And when it comes to getting our needs met, we must clearly speak, must be direct. The supine temperament, they read people very well. And they want people to be genuine. They usually know if a person is genuine. They know if they're genuine or if they're not. They also tend to be emotional. Crying is a safety valve that helps them deal with stress. So they may cry often, but remember, it's a safety valve. Helps them to deal with stress. They tend to have a hard time accepting compliments. They don't feel that they're valuable, and so they will struggle in the area of accepting compliments. A change of environment will change their mood and help regenerate them. So I've spoken about this when it came to the sanguine temperament. Sanguine temperament, that helps regenerate them. It uplifts them. Just a change of the environment, changing up of the room. It's the same also with the supine temperament. The changing of environment will help change their mood and will help regenerate them. They are highly responsive to emotional rewards, such as recognition and acceptance. They're also highly responsive to emotional punishment, such as guilt, rejection, loss of recognition, and negative consequences. In other words, they respond to both threat of punishment and the promise of reward. As I was talking about the melancholy yesterday, you can't push them or pull them. Whatever they're thinking, once they make up their mind, they're moved by what they're dwelling on. But with the supine temperament, they are motivated by both reward or punishment. They're high intellectual thinkers, like the melancholy, and they need to control their thoughts by steering them in a positive rather than a negative direction. And when anger is internalized, now listen to me, this is very important, these key issues. Whenever they're angry, anger is often internalized, and because of that, it will end up going unresolved. And they will mask their anger as hurt feelings. Remember that phrase, hurt feelings. They will mask their anger as hurt feelings. And this is because they are gentle. They don't want to be harsh. They don't function in a harsh way. And they will often think, my feelings are hurt. Or say, my feelings are hurt. Or you hurt my feelings. When you hear that, that means I am angry. And help them deal with the anger. Internalized anger grows inward, does not go away in time, just grows deeper, and it brings forth roots, and then it'll bear a tree full of fruit. So you want to get anger resolved, and they will mask anger as hurt feelings, but understand it's anger, and get whatever it is resolved as soon as you can. Don't let it continue without getting it resolved. All right? They also suffer from a great deal of anxiety if forced to be away from people, often or for long periods of time. So that's important to remember. Just like if there's a sanguine temperament, knowing they need to be around people. The supine does also. They need to be around people. And my last thing, they need to be told every day, in words and in actions, they are needed and appreciated. Remember that. every day, make sure that you communicate that every day, that they are needed and they are appreciated. It's very important. All right. God bless you. I hope that I've been a blessing to you. Again, I will be back on next week. Thank you for joining me. If you would like to give a love offering, you can go to our church website, www.atascocitaupc.com. Have a great day. See you next week.